guys. So I am back in my co-hosting role. So for now, I am the guest or the one who's gonna talk right now. So for those of you who just tuned in, my name is Jana, and I am the owner of Wild Tea Translations. We are the leading Amazon translations agency, and we do a lot of translations for sellers that need to expand to international marketplaces, not only listings, but also all sorts of other translations of documents, such as follow-up emails, brand store, basically everything you need. And we're talking about Prime Day today, and we've talked about that a lot. I just think also it's very important to touch on something that might be very relevant to 2021, which is not so far away. So we are basically 3 months from 2021, and I just think it's a good idea to just know about some new opportunities that might be waiting you out there, especially if you're already selling on international marketplaces. I think it might be very interesting to know about some new and potentially very interesting marketplaces for you. So today I will be talking about new opportunities in 2021 and new opportunities definitely when it comes to marketplaces. So I would like to share my screen, and I made a couple of slides that I would like to share. Okay, cool. So I guess this is the first slide. Everybody's seeing this. Okay, perfect. So basically to begin, to start off with, I'd like to talk a little bit about European marketplaces. I think they are very important because a lot of, for instance, our clients, they're basically mainly based in the US, UK, and Germany. And for a lot of US sellers out there, I know a lot of you guys want to start selling on the UK marketplace, which of course makes a lot of sense because the UK marketplace is, for a lot of people, very convenient because of the language barrier. You basically don't need to translate your listings, but you would definitely have to do the keyword research, because you have to do keyword research for every market separately. Even if you would use the US keywords with the UK market, not all of them would be good enough, and not all of them would basically be the ones that the people are searching there the most. But the biggest marketplace in Europe is Germany, definitely. And I like to call it a 5-star marketplace because all of those countries that don't have their own marketplace, such as, for instance, Norway or Finland, or other countries that you really want to target because their e-commerce penetration is really high, and they have high quality of high life quality. They get transferred and they buy from the German Amazon. So you really want to be present on their marketplace. Also, a very interesting thing is that VAT was reduced from 21 to 16%, and it's gonna stay like that until the end of this year. This is very important when starting to sell internationally. Definitely, I know it's a big of a hassle to get the taxes done, but still 16% looks pretty good. Apart from them, we have like France, Spain, Italy, and the Netherlands. The Dutch marketplace has been kind of disappointing this year for all Amazon sellers. We've had tons of requests, but none of them had made any good sales, actually. So this is something which a lot of people are a little bit disappointed with. But I think as soon as Amazon rolls out PPC, that was expected to be done this year, probably is going to be pushed back to 2021. There are going to be some sales, and also keyword research was not available in any of the tools except Helium 10, which made it available a couple of months ago, but they still don't have good results. So we stick to Keyword Planner and Google AdWords for when searching for the new keywords for this marketplace. Very interesting to point out is due to COVID this year, Spain and Italy, which were two smallest Amazon marketplaces, and not all sellers wanting to sell over there, they have they have such a huge increase in e-commerce overall. So Spain and Italy with 13.5 and Italy with 14%, which is huge and absolutely amazing. Because as you can see here in this chart, Germany is is marking just 7.3% in increase in revenue on the e-commerce marketplaces, which is basically nothing. So a lot of sellers who haven't thought of selling in Spain and Italy because it's a small marketplace, I have seen that a lot of them will turn to Spain and Italy now, and we've had like really increased demand in these two. Definitely in these two marketplaces. When it comes to outside of Europe, there's Japan, Mexico, there's Brazil, there's Canada, there's Australia, of course, and sellers decide to. A lot of U.S. sellers decide to sell in Mexican marketplace or Canada, and only few of like a total number of sellers they decide to sell a Japanese marketplace because it's a very unique and different marketplace, and you really have to know that you have a really good fit for a product for the marketplace. For instance, like if let's say the flask, like when you work out, like you have a flask like this helium time one, like it will sell well. For instance, like in Europe or the US. From my experience, like whoever had the best selling product or decided to take the best sellers to Europe, they all did very well. But it's not necessarily a rule for the Japanese marketplace. You just have to know that you have the right product for that marketplace. A lot of people ask me like, do you do like a product research? Like, how do you do it for the specific marketplace? We don't. But what I also discussed with Sharon yesterday is that I think it's really important to ask, the audience and actually go to like different groups, like it could be on Facebook or Quora or anywhere, just ask a question like, would you buy this product? And you're targeting the Japanese audience. So this is also how you can get some really good feedback. And Japan is like literally like the third largest marketplace there in the world right now for Amazon, and PPC clicks are super cheap. So it's something to really think about. Japan is always a good idea, but you really have to know, just do the homework on the product research and see if you're a very good fit. When talking about some newer marketplaces and what I expect is going to be super popular like next year and even more, even in higher demand with sellers, is definitely Amazon UAE. I think around like 2 months ago, we started getting like more and more inquiries about this marketplace. Previously, this was Souk marketplace, so they just changed it to Amazon.ae. And it's very interesting because it's not that big population. It's only 9.89 million people. But there's like a really high e-commerce penetration, and people have very high living standards. And it's very interesting for UAE that a lot of people over there are expats. And this is very important when it comes to your listings and your translations, because you don't need necessarily to translate the listings for this marketplace, because by leaving those in English, you would be probably targeting those expats. If you don't want to leave it in English, you can translate it to Arabic. But bear in mind that the Arabic for UAE is different than what you would have it like for the Saudi Arabia. So that's very important. And some of the things, because people being expats, they move a lot. They go from one apartment to another, and things are quite expensive in UAE. For instance, like in Dubai, I remember when I was there a couple of times. It's quite expensive, and people love to buy stuff. They love their brands, but what they love even more is getting a good deal. So I think like if Amazon if you can offer a good price on Amazon, people would definitely be interested in buying your product. I just think that the whole market is still dominated by Noon.com. But I think if Amazon works on the delivery services in 2021, it offers better shipping options and faster shipping, that they could still kind of win over the UAE customers. As I said, it was pretty interesting is that expats are, basically like 70% of the population over there, and people come and go. And so they want to save money, definitely on good deals. And what's a very popular category for Amazon UAE is home decor and things that you can buy for home organization, like little drawers, little boxes, and furnishings, of course. And that's all very, very expensive over there. And if you compare like the US marketplace, which has like 10,000 different options in this category, like UAE has like around like 500 options that popped up, like when you type, let's say, photo frames or couch pillows or something like that, which is a quite, big, it's quite good to place yourselves within this category if you're selling these products, because now you're going to have this like edge, you're going to have the edge over your competitors, because they might not be, interested in selling on this marketplace. And you really have, like, you should go and check and like type in photo frames, you have like 500 products maybe. While as like the Amazon in the US, you have like thousands of those products. So this is something to think about, and going into home decor in on this marketplace maybe as early as next year. Second marketplace, which is quite interesting, is Amazon Singapore. It's even smaller than UAE. It has population of 5.6 million, but e-commerce revenue is 5 billion. And so it is expected to reach e-commerce penetration went from 70 to probably 73%, or maybe even more, depending on, like how COVID decides to behave and what else happens, to us in this world. It can like go even beyond 73% by 2023. Why is Singapore so important? It's a small country. It is, but there are so many people that have a lot of money over there, and Singaporeans are online shoppers since forever. And why is this marketplace so important for Amazon? Is because this is actually a gateway to Southeast Asia, which they really want to, conquer and be very dominant at. So if they're dominant in Singapore, actually, you've entered Southeast Asia this way. And some of the categories which are quite interesting are toys and kitchen electronics, home appliances, home organization, as well as, as the same as in Dubai. Just the thing is that in Singapore, people used to live, they're used to living in very small apartments. So you really want to work on that home organization, how to fit like so many different things. There are also a lot of expats in Singapore, sports equipment. So these are some of the categories that there are not too many like products, too many options to think about to go and sell there. And the best thing is that Amazon's language is English. You don't have to translate your listings, but I would suggest that you focus on British English. Singapore being historically connected to the UK more than to the US. I would focus more on English UK and using similar, like the UK spelling, using something that people from the UK would buy, and similar. A very interesting marketplace, Saudi Arabia. I haven't had a seller, and I haven't talked to anyone who's selling on this marketplace. So please, if somebody is selling on Saudi Arabia, please let me know how you're doing, because 3 times bigger marketplace than UAE offers so many good possibilities. And languages are also like English and Arabic, but if you decide to translate this to Saudi Arabian Arabic, it's different than the Arabic you have in UAE. Also, there's no keyword research that does the job for Saudi Arabia, nothing for UAE. You'll have to do things manually, or you'll just have to see like what your competitors are doing. So what's next, basically? Amazon Sweden has already been announced. There are a lot of things going on with Sweden right now. I'll get to that in a minute. Amazon Poland, we've had rumors, and we've actually had some information that Amazon Poland will be rolling out this year. I suppose it got pushed back to 2021, but we're expecting this marketplace to roll out in 2021, as well as Czech Republic. And as I said, hopefully PPC for the Dutch marketplace, because I'm really interested to see like the whole potential that this marketplace has. And I think it has a lot, So let's just dig into these 3 new marketplaces and see what we could expect. So Amazon Sweden is Sweden is the 3rd largest country in Europe, and they use Swedish crowns, so they don't use euros, even though they're a European Union. 9.6 million people. Online sales are huge, like around like 8 billions. It's insane, right? They have so many different online stores, and like Swedish people, they are very used to shopping online, and they have their Swedish culture. So I think Amazon has to do a really, really good job in order to impress and win the customers to by, let's say, wide range and fast deliveries, in order to win customers over and for them to buy things from Amazon and not from somebody else, like Nelly.com, for instance. And most popular categories in Sweden are, for instance, clothing and footwear, home furniture, of course, especially because of IKEA, home and electronics. And e-commerce in Sweden, which is interesting, is accounted for 8.7% of total retail sales in 2017. So yeah, it's quite interesting. And if we take into account that it took Amazon about 6 months to launch the Dutch marketplace, I think that Amazon Sweden should be fully operating at the beginning of 2021. And the only warehouse for now that I know of is at Eskilstuna. Like, this is the only like one verified confirmation of the warehouse. It's it's close to Stockholm, the capital. And I know the vendor is 100% guaranteed. And inventory in Sweden means Swedish VAT, but for now it's going to be 100,000 for long distance selling, as it is in other countries like the Netherlands, for instance. And seller fulfilled Prime will be definitely available. So I think this can be a really great marketplace, especially because the whole Scandinavian overall culture is very e-commerce oriented. And I think that I also have some friends in Sweden, and I know that all of them wrote to me and they're like, wow, and like what Amazon is, available on our marketplace. But what I think is going to be very challenging is that, for instance, like when Amazon first showed up in Germany, it was like, wow, we have Amazon, and we, at that time there were no competitors to Amazon. But Amazon Sweden is going to be a tough one, but I'm really looking forward to seeing this as being a very big country in Europe and having very high e-commerce penetration. Poland is very, very interesting. It's a 9th largest country in Europe with population over 38 million. And it's very interesting that e-commerce in Poland is 4% of all retail sales. Surprisingly, there are so many different stores. There are actually over 12,000 online stores in Poland, like Allegro.pl. And Allegro was actually one of the top biggest e-commerce websites in the world, right after Shopee, which is a Singaporean one, and Tmall, which is Chinese. So they're mingling with some like really, really big names and big players. So Polish people know their e-commerce business. And it's really interesting that Zalando, we all know Zalando, also like a marketplace platform to buy clothes and stuff. They went to their expansion to 3 new marketplaces in Europe. So they went to Poland, Sweden, and Spain. So this is very, very interesting because also Amazon chose these countries to expand. So Zalando is basically one step ahead of Amazon because they're already available in 2020 on these marketplaces, and people can buy and purchase products from these marketplaces already. So Poland, Sweden, and Spain, I would also say be on a lookout for this, especially, as I said, the Spain and Italy had 13.5 and 14% increase in e-commerce. And this is something I think Amazon sellers should keep in mind when thinking about like, what is the next big thing that they should do when expanding to international marketplaces. So Poland could definitely be very, very interesting country. And last but not least, we have the Czech Republic with the fastest growing e-commerce market in Europe. It has grown 16% between now and 2021, which is more than any other country in Europe. And it's a very, very interesting, and it shows highest predicted compound annual growth rate. And I think it's just a very good opportunity to just kind of have in mind also that the Czech Republic is going to roll out eventually. And remember how like when you register for the Pan-European program, like you have to register VAT in Poland and Czech Republic. And this has been, like that for a lot of years. But I think that now, probably next year, this is like, you're definitely going to see these two new countries roll out in 2021. The only problem could be that in Czech Republic, people are still addicted to using a lot of cash. This is just, how life is over there. So like settling payment on delivery with cash and, paper delivery is very popular, like counting 45% of transactions. But I just really think that a lot of sellers out there should definitely be on the lookout for the Czech Republic, because I think it could be very interesting for many more years to come. And I think that, very important thing is that you really have to be, you have to like up your game and be like, okay, so this is interesting. And I think you should be prepared, especially since, COVID is probably going to be like here to stay. And I just think that, we should kind of think and like focus on what can I do to scale my business, and how do I go over the border and like cross-border selling. And I just think that that could be a very good, like when Prime Day is over, when you do like the Q1 2021, this is something I think you should definitely bear in mind, especially if you're already the Pan-European program, if you're already registered. I think it's just a matter of time when Amazon is going to roll out a PPC for Dutch marketplace, Poland, Czech, and to go full in with the Swedish marketplaces. Hi, Josh. This is one of our clients, and yeah, definitely, like for you, Josh, I think this will be great in 2021 to just sum up like everything that you have, like all info. I've shared some like really good information on this, and I think everything I talked about has huge potential now more than ever. And I think, like Amazon will keep pushing people in selling online and just, investing and just growing your business. And that's it. So thank you so much for tuning with me in this update on new opportunities for 2021. And our next guest is going to be Destiny. Destiny, the PPC expert, and she will take over with Lazar in about 30 minutes. And until then, you can just stay with us and watch our office working for 30 hours now, nonstop. Take care.